These drink packages can get really expensive. And the drinks themselves can get expensive because I talked to you about the $12 glass of wine, but they have a glass of wine that's higher than that. I think it's like $16, the premium wine. So the cruise, man, they squeeze every nickel and dime out of you. So with the drink packages, I would say this. If you are a heavy drinker, if someone is going to consume all that alcohol, certainly go for it. Go for it. Just be careful because I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen some people with these drink packages and they don't want to seem like they're, how can I put this? Wasting any drinks, wasting any money. So they try to drink as much as they can. I've seen some drunk people on these cruise ships. I remember we went on we had a port. I think we went on an excursion. Excursion is when you go to, when the ship stops, you get off for those that don't cruise. And you can take a trip somewhere within wherever your country or city you're in or whatever. But you have to be back at the cruise ship by a certain time. So we got back to the cruise ship from some trip. I'm not sure where we went. Maybe the Mayan ruins. I think the Mayan ruins or something like that. So when we got back close to the ship, we noticed a group of people in a minivan, and they had been off of some excursion somewhere. And wherever they were, there was alcohol. Let me tell you, because some of the ships have like beaches and things like that they also recognize your card on the ship, and so they charge it to your room or part of drink packages. So they have their own little islands, like especially in the Caribbean, like Royal Caribbean, NCL, Carnival. They have their own little islands out there, and I could talk about that in another video. But long story short, when the van pulled up, a person got out of the van, and they were literally holding this person up, and they turned this person's face around, and a huge gash was across this person's head where they had fallen trying to get onto the vehicle. And they finally agreed this person was too drunk to be on their own. So you get some people out there to really go overboard with trying to not lose money with these drink packages. I've also seen women. One day I was on the way back to the room. I think I had like 2 glasses of wine. I was ready to turn in because I had to get in early for a port call to get off the ship the next morning. And it was probably 11 o'clock at night, man. What do I see? I go to the elevator. What do I see? What do I see? I see these 3 ladies. I'm talking about grown ladies, like in their 40s and 50s, not no young girls. They were drunk off their ass. They barely could even get in the damn elevator. They were just laughing and chuckling it up and just all on the floor. And I was like, oh my God. So instead of taking the elevator, I actually took the stairs because I didn't want to get involved with all that, man. One thing I don't like is talking to a drunk person. I just, especially when they're talking irrationally, I can't do it. But the drink packages are expensive. Be very careful because that's where they make their bread and butter. And believe it or not, a lot of drink packages are more expensive than the cruise themselves. A lot of times they are. The drink packages is where they make their money. There are some cruises that actually will give you a free cruise. You just have to pay the fees and the taxes and everything. But they get you with the drink package because you're not going to go on a cruise and not want to have anything to drink, Some people might do that. Some people might, not saying they won't, but they have a way of luring you in to make it seem like you're getting a good deal on a cruise, But I would say just be careful with the drink package and don't go overboard with it because some people, like I said, I've seen them go overboard. Carnival has a rule in place now, and I just read this the other day, where they have a 16 drink limit per day on a cruise ship. 16 drinks because they recognize that some people overdo it and it's just a mess for the ship staff to try to control something like that. And it's unsafe for the other passengers, and it's unsafe for the person who's too drunk. But they have a 16 drink limit. Now understand this, with 16 drinks. That's 16 drinks. If I go to the bar and say, hey, give me a double shot of some of the scotch over here, that's 1 drink. But even though it was a double shot. So technically you get off with 32 drinks on those ships, man, on some of the ships. And so, I mean, that's a lot of alcohol, 16 drinks a day. Maybe in my young days, I'm sure I could do it. Hell, I probably drink 30 a day. No, I was 19, 20, 25, 23. But now, man, there's no way in hell I'm going to drink 16 drinks a day. No way in hell. And not saying it's not possible. If I'm on a ship with a whole group of people, we're just having loads of fun. We're having fun starting from lunchtime all the way to dinner time, even after. I may drink 16 drinks in that day, glasses of wine. It depends on how I'm feeling. But I will tell you, that's not going to be an everyday thing for me. For some people, it's every day. Some people get the drink packages and actually, end up getting banned because their behaviors with the alcohol and everything. So understand this, these ships do have holding cells, like a jail cell on the cruise ships. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. But get out of control if you want to and see what happens with the ship security. and where you're going to end up at. They will have you in a room locked up until they get you to the nearest port. And I don't give a damn where it is. It can be in Jamaica. It can be in Cozumel, Caribbean. They're going to hand your ass off to the local authorities because they're not going to have you at sea. They don't want to deal with it. Liability, and they don't want to deal with it. All because you decide to get a drink package and go overboard with it. Now, for the most part, most people that get these drink packages are very responsible people, very responsible drinkers. They get them for the right reasons, especially if you got large families that are going on cruising. You got kids, want the sodas. You got the older folks want the coffees. So that's great. It's great. Just be careful because they can really get expensive. These drink packages can get expensive. Now, what I told you are the averages. I told you the averages. They can get much higher depending on which cruise you're on, how long you're out at sea, which locations you're visiting. Y'all get what I'm saying? So there's a big difference between leaving out of Galveston and taking a one-day cruise to Cozumel, or getting on an international flight heading over to Greece and getting on a cruise ship. They're going to charge you some money on that cruise ship going over to Greece. Just for them to be in those waters over there, they got to pay international taxes. And you think they're going to just foot the bill for themselves? No, you're going to eat some of that. So it's important to know these drink packages can get expensive. Do your homework. Please do your homework. Don't feel like you're forced into getting these things, because once you get it, you got it. I'm sure, I don't know. I think there's a way to cancel it once you're on the ship. I've never heard anybody doing that, but I'm sure there's a way of canceling it if you feel like it's a waste. And you talk to customer service, hell, there's always a way. There's no such thing as no. The only thing to them is a satisfied customer. So you go up there and make your case if you don't think you need a drink package. But these things can get expensive. And I'm not here to say if it's a bad thing or good thing to get a drink package. I'm just here to say to do your homework and understand there are dynamics at play to try to get you to buy the drink packages. And also there are risks with getting the drink package. You may get a drink package out there and you're seasick the whole time, and you definitely don't get to use it. So that's another thing you need to be aware of. And so, but all in all, I think it's a great idea. I don't know. I wish Carnival would just wrap everything up in the one package, like an all-inclusive resort. Like, why are you separating everything out? And they do it to the restaurants on the ships too, because you have regular restaurants, you have upgraded restaurants, you have the ones everybody can eat in with the cruise ticket. Then you have ones you have to pay extra for, and some of those can get pricey. But the drinks can get outrageous. They can get outrageous. I will tell you a tip though, a tip I learned with these drinks. So, find yourself a good bar. Find yourself a good bar on the ship and start chopping up with the bartender. You know what I'm saying? Find yourself a good bar. Make first name basis. Y'all get to know each other. So, just about every day you make your way to the bar, have a drink, talk to people or whatever. You may find yourself with a couple of free drinks. And one thing I forgot to mention here is water. Water is not free on the ships, which I think is weird. They got like water fountains. They say the water on the ship is just as clean as on the land. And I kind of believe it because they have reverse osmosis. They have other ways to cleanse the ocean water, things like that. But bottled water it's going to cost you, and it's not cheap. And so be prepared for that. And so that's part of that drink package too. If you ain't got the drink package, you're not getting bottled water. But if you go to that bar and start making friends with those bartenders, you might find yourself taking some bottled waters to the room. Real talk. So with that, I'm not going to hold y'all with the drink packages. I just want to really come on here and kind of just get my 2 cents on what it's about and whether you should get it or not, the benefits of it, the pitfalls of it. At the end of the day, it's going to be on a personal preference, personal preference, budget, and whether you drink or not, But just do your homework. Don't be sucked in by these cruise lines because they will get you with these drink packages. They will. I think one of the drink packages I paid for of the first 3 cruises I went on, the drink package was like, I think $1,300 per person for the whole cruise. And I don't drink that much, at least not anymore. Do your homework. With that, this is Eric Brown, MOBO-Media. Happy cruising. And if you've never cruised before, consider it. Be safe. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.